The 80s, a generation of revolutionary phenomena in genres like music, fashion, pop culture, and technology. First, let's take a look at fashion. The 80s was an era of experimentation for clothing and hairstyles. Bright colors and animal prints were very in amongst the masses, and big hairstyles were always in fashion. Other fashion trends include spandex, miniskirts, scrunchies, huge earrings, leg warmers, fingerless gloves, neon, parachute pants, denim where it should be, members-only jackets, stretch stirrup pants, whatever Madonna was wearing at the time, oversized tops, and last but not least, fanny packs. Next we have pop culture and celebrities. Famous people in the 80s had a lot of influence over the teen generation, causing for social uproar and a giant increase in the popularity of pop culture. We conducted an interview with the lead singer of the band Angel, Punky Meadows, in order to gain a perspective of someone who was there.
So this is Punky from the band Angel. Punky, can you tell me how you feel about today's music?
They all suck.
Thanks, Punky. Anyways, some celebrities she did happen to mention in the interview were Tom Cruise, Michael Jackson, Madonna, David Bowie, Magic Johnson, Cyndi Lauper, and many more. Much like fashion, celebrities had a huge influence on pop culture and mass media. This heavily ties into the values of Americans in the 80s. There was huge progress in the women's rights movement and equal treatment of sexes compared to the previous decades. Women were beginning to receive more respect in everyday life, and we even had our first woman Supreme Court Justice, Sandra Day O'Connor, in 1981. Neat! Things like self-expression and rebellion were very important to individuals in the 1980s, as well as the yuppie uprise, an explosion of blockbuster movies, and the emergence of MTV. Movements like the rise of the New Right helped bring voice to the population of conservative Americans against pro-choice abortion groups. There was also the rise of Reaganomics, or trickle-down economics. Here's Madonna with a few choice words.
Take one, Madonna. Take one, Madonna. Take one, Madonna. So, Madonna, can you tell me how you feel about these past few years' politics?
Sure. Let me just.
Yeah, and how do you feel about the economy?
Economy's great. I'm making money. I'm happy. But that's because I'm a wealthy person. Reagan's president, which explains all the Reaganomics going around, which means all the tax benefits are going to the wealthy people in hopes that they'll trickle down to the low-income communities. But that's not happening. I don't have to worry about it, though, because I'm rich, and I really don't care.
Thanks, Madonna. Much like what the superstar stated, Reagan's plan for the economy mainly benefited the wealthy, which led to a mass recession in the early 80s. This was eventually fixed, but America was in major debt with deficit spending, or spending money that you don't have, throughout the rest of the decade. He also started cutting domestic programs and federal taxes, which led many to question his actions in regards to the economy. On a brighter note, many Republicans were pleased to hear that Reagan was trying to make the federal government smaller. Political achievements also included the fall of the Berlin Wall, which represented the fall of communism. Here's Madonna again.
The Berlin Wall came crashing down because we got the commies. Gorbachev over in the USSR was elected, and he's letting people have more political disinterest or being more vocal about it.
Lovely, Madonna. Thank you. Truly. One minor downfall America faced was the Iran-Contra affair, where the Reagan administration was supplying Iran, a sworn enemy, with weapons in hopes of them returning hostages held by the Hezbollah terrorists loyal to Ayatollah Khomeini. But enough about that. Let's get back to the fun stuff. Next we have inventions. Technology like the Walkman, compact discs, brick phones, and even disposable cameras greatly influenced American teens and young adults. They encouraged social activities and allowed Americans to bond over which video games they liked or which music genres they liked with ease. We conducted an interview with Punky's Roadie to see what the average American takes interest in most. What's that thing you got in your lap there?
This is my baby. My RCA camcorder VHS.
This is a more recent, invention, right?
Yes, it was just made only a few years ago. It's really good for filming Punky and her shows.
What's that you got in your hand there?
Oh, this is a new product by Nintendo. It's their handheld consoles that don't come out till the 90s, but Nintendo makes a lot of good products. A lot of video games. There's also Sega, Sony, the Atari.
Punky's Roadie is showing us how to use this new technology.
I'm winning!
Punky's Roadie also has an interest in compact discs.
Compact discs.
To say the least, technology has made a huge impact on the young adults of the 80s. We're almost done, folks. Next we have entertainment and recreation. As previously mentioned, there was a huge uprising in social activities due to all the newfound technologies. So as you can imagine, Americans spent a lot of their time hanging out and using said technology to bond. Some leisure activities that were popular in the 80s included going to the arcade, playing video games, going to the movies, listening to music, playing with Rubik's Cubes, cruising around in their cars, roller skating, and going to dances or parties. And that's just to name a few. Popular slang that manifested from the social uprising included phrases like barf bag, awesome, bogus, bomb diggity, take a chill pill, don't have a cow, for sure, gag me with a spoon,
I've fallen and I can't get up.
radical, totally, and
Hey, where's the beef?
now I know y'all have been waiting for this, but it's time. Last, but certainly not least, we have music. You've got hair bands, glam rock, pop, techno, rap, you name it. The 80s was a music revolution. There were so many genres and branches of music coming out that people didn't even know what to do with themselves. To name a few artists that were popular in the 80s, you had Michael Jackson, The Police, Prince, Phil Collins, Madonna, Def Leppard, Run DMC, Van Halen, Janet Jackson, Wham! / George Michael, rest in peace, Billy Joel, AC/DC, Metallica, Iron Maiden, Whitney Houston, Bon Jovi, Judas Priest, David Bowie, R.E.M., Duran Duran, Queen, special shout out to The Cure and U2, Journey, LL, Cool J, Tina Turner, Beastie Boys, The People, Ozzy Osbourne, B-52s, Don Henley, The Smiths, Heart, Depeche Mode, Hall & Oates, Rolling Stones, Men at Work, Pat Benatar, Oingo Boingo, Billy Idol, Toto, Peter Gabriel, The Go-Go's, Eurythmics, Pet Shop Boys, Aerosmith, and Elton John. Whew, and that's just naming a few. Overall, the 80s was a revolutionary year for technology, fashion, and music. It is without a doubt the most influential era of all time.